like to call the Physical Services Committee meeting to order. Right, have a discussion, and Mr. Hedwell, you'd like to?
We have, before we get started, we have Mark Kilmer, and he would like to have a few words with him.
Good evening, everybody. I'm not going to speak much tonight. I'm just simply here to formally introduce, and it's my pleasure to introduce our new tourism director for the Fulton Montgomery County Chamber, Ann Bowles. And Ann, say a couple words.
Hi, good evening. I just wanted to introduce myself. Like Mark said, my name is Ann Bowles, and I'm very proud to be the Director of Tourism for Fulton Montgomery County. I just want to thank you for your support. Thank you for passing the resolution and acknowledging the importance of tourism for our counties. And I'm just really looking forward to promoting the gems that we have in our area and get the tourism dollars in here to support our local businesses and our community and our local families. So thank you for the opportunity, and appreciate your support, and looking forward to a great year in 2020 and beyond. So thank you.
Welcome and good luck.
Thank you.
All right, is there any discussion here? If not, I'm going to move right to the first resolution. Resolution authorizing the county executive to sign a contract with GPI Engineering, 80 Wolf Road, for the continuation of drainage, roadway design improvements, Leopard Road, County Route 20.
I'll sponsor.
Legislator Pett, second. Legislator Sweet. All those in favor, move it to a full board.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain. Okay. So move. Next resolution, authorizing the county executive to sign a change order for the Burtonsville Road Spur Bridge replacement, construction support and inspection. Public Works. We have a sponsor. Legislator Sweet. Legislator Diamond. Any other discussion? All those in favor of moving it to a full board?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? So moved. Next resolution authorizing the county exec to sign a contract for insurance contract for the sanitary district. Legislator Diamond, and I'll second. Any other discussion? All those in favor of moving it to a full board?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
I have to abstain just because it's where I work.
Okay. One abstain. Okay, anything under other? A motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Legislator Sweet?
I'll second.
Legislator Pett.
Okay, we have to wait 2 minutes.
What's that here?
We have to wait 2 minutes.
Okay. We can do that.
Promise Megan that we wouldn't bend the rules when we're not being here.
Oh, yeah. So, oh, I'd like to.
Oh, I do.
I think we're related on my mother's side.
Really?
My great grandmother, Nielsen.
Yeah, but you got to.
Her maiden name is Erica,
Really?
and that's her maiden name. And they're from North Canada, Cornwall, and she's got a family ice cream store on there called Americans. I said, you know, when I saw this, I'm like,
That's interesting.
yeah.
I think there's some good
Here's a picture, you get your remote. Looks like one of those mouse lizard jackets.
To be honest with you, I think.
black silk lapel. I support.
Bye, guys. Keep in touch. Happy holidays.
Nice meeting you. Happy holidays.
I think we should do it. I think we should do it.
I think it's something that we can go back and.
Sit down.
Christmas dinner here.
No. Over in
Ball, purple ball.
Oh, that's nice.
We'll have it in front of the basketball on the ground. Since
No, yeah,
2008.
this.
Down in front.
Okay, you can start.
How about this person on the set?
Oh, yeah?
You can start.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's over there. Call the Personnel Committee meeting to order. Privilege of the floor. Does anyone wish to be heard? If not, we're on to the resolutions. First is a resolution authorizing the county executive to sign an agreement with HM Life Insurance Company of New York. Look for a sponsor in a second. Right to your left, Cheryl. Any discussion here?
Is this a renewal or is this someone?
It's, we went out to RFP, and we were with Montgomery. HR was very more competitive, so we,
The increase, the 16 point, was it budgeted?
yes. Well, yes and no. I anticipate, we don't get these numbers until, we only got these numbers this month, but it is due in June, July. So in anticipation of some high cost claimants, I did, ask for an increase in the budget for health insurance.
And you're confident that the increase you asked for will cover the 16.6% increase? No. How much off are you, do you think? Would you do the math? Stupid question for me, I guess. Or has anybody done it?
I mean, I have, there's some privacy issues with, there's a high cost claimants, that, potentially we could, hit the stop loss. And, so, hate to give you a number, but it could be up to $600.
It cost us more, 600,000 more than what we have in our budget line item?
Maybe half that.
Are you talking about the health insurance claim itself or the stop loss cost?
Sorry, the claim itself,
Yeah, so the claim itself is an entirely separate line.
yeah.
Okay, and that's, we have big claims all the time and you
Right,
can't.
you
make-
can't, yeah.
And that runs millions of dollars a year. And
Correct.
specifically to this contract, we're talking about a different story.
Yeah,
So I think
that's
that
what I
having that number in there is a big number that's scary, but it's not necessarily related exactly to this particular contract. If that makes sense.
Okay.
So the 16.6% increase in the stop loss contract, which is around a couple $100,000 off the top of my head, or a few thousand. So it's a manageable increase relative to thinking of it as a $600,000 increase.
But manageable and what, and
The annual cost for this contract over last year is only 16% more, so it's a 182 last year, it was somewhere, what is that, so maybe 150 something?
Okay.
150,000.
And what did you budget for, knowing that you were going out to bid that could increase? You know, I'm sure you just said.
For this contract itself,
Yeah,
I think we're okay to cover this contract.
okay, that's all I'm asking.
Well, I'll
Yeah,
tell you
I
this, I would say that she probably asked for more than what was included in my executive budget. I would say that to her defense as well.
Okay, but I'm just, you know, not looking to assign or blame or anything, just wondering how
Do you have the numbers, Sean?
how close we are to the actual number we're going to incur, that's all.
In the line that that's paid out of, she asked for 450 and the executive in the adopted budget was adopted for 400,000.
Okay, and you think it's gonna be less than that, yeah?
Yeah, I think the
But there's other things.
increases.
There's other things
sorry.
There's other things like that line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, thank you.
So after you went out to bid, the low bid was 16.6% more than last year's?
Correct.
Thank you.
And thank you.
High cost claimants.
Any other discussion here? If not, all those in favor of moving this to the full legislature signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? Motion is carried. Next, a resolution authorizing the county executive to sign renewal agreement the Safety National for excess workers' compensation coverage personnel. Look for a sponsor in a second. Thank you. Is there any discussion here?
Same question.
It's a negligible increase.
I know, 2.5%.
And yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion here? If not, all those in favor of moving this to the full legislature signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstained? Motion is carried. Next is a resolution authorizing the county executive to sign renewal agreement with Delta Dental personnel. Look for a sponsor in a second.
I'll sponsor. Not much choice here tonight.
Is there any discussion here? If not, all those in favor of moving this to the full legislature signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstained? Motion is carried. Resolution changing the hours of operation at Montgomery County Department of Motor Vehicles, County Clerk. I received a call from the county clerk with respect to this. He's trying to really improve the available hours to the public. There is no additional financial impact attached to this. Is there? Yes.
Just to add to this, this is something that's been worked on behind the scenes for some time now. Nicole, Patback has been working on the labor management side, working with the employees on adjusting the hours, and, we have to talk about, maybe flexing some security with the 2 hours being later, but it's really not much of an increase. But I think, this is gonna be a real positive, and, we're trying to do it in a way that everybody's on the same page, supportive, both labor and management, and I think Brittany and the team have been doing a good job.
Is there any further discussion? Yes.
Need a sponsor? Need a sponsor? I'll sponsor. I'll second.
Okay, thank you.
I think it's a great idea. Yeah, especially for people who work until 3, 4 o'clock, it's almost impossible to take time off to do.
She's trying to capture more revenue by it.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
I support the length and the hours. The only thing that I'm a little nervous about is the people that come in on Thursday mornings at 8:30 to use motor vehicle and finding out it's not open until 10 o'clock. I would have absolutely no problem supporting this if we had all the days start at the same time and that this day ended at 5:30. I just wish there was a way that we could incorporate that somehow to take care of that. And then the second thing is, I would also like not just the motor vehicle office being open, but the county clerk's office. So if I need to get a passport done, or if I need other business where it wasn't just one little part of that part of the complex being done. So that's my thought is that, that we're gonna make some people happy, but I think we're also gonna make a lot of people upset when they don't know that it's closed until 10 o'clock on those mornings.
Think so?
Does she have any plans to properly disclose this to the public?
Yeah,
Give
so
them ample
just
notice?
to those 2 points. The first point is, I think we would agree in that fact, but in the process of discussing actually how this would happen, basically what you're doing is shifting the day, and so to add those extra hours would mean some bigger changes that I think she wants to roll it out and see how this goes first. So I think in a perfect world, we'd love to do that. And the second thing is, I would say it'd probably be easy to do that with the entire group as well, if it was similar again, if you were just shifting the day, shifting the hours. But, and I think doing that for the whole office is very accomplishable. But to your point, absolutely, social media, and I know she's going on the radio, and I think it'll be a transition, but then it'll just become known as these are the hours on that day.
Yeah,
So,
the legislator's point is well taken. I'll speak with the clerk to that point prior to when we vote on this.
I like to see somehow of this being the way it is at the moment, but going in that direction so that a year from now we're maybe figuring how we can cover. I understand when you have an enhanced license, you have to have 3 people look at it. So the coverage is tough.
yeah.
But how do we man what we need to do with the people that we have.
My guess is she'd say she needed another person in the DMV to do it, but that's just a guess.
Is there further discussion here? If not, all those in favor of moving this to the full legislature, signify by saying aye. Are there any opposed or abstentions? Motion is carried. Any other business before the committee? Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
We got 47 resolutions.
No, actually, yeah. Wow, how'd that happen? Short week, short month. All right, we'll call the Education Government Committee to order. First thing on the agenda, discussion, privileged chair, committee members, or legislators, anything to discuss? Anyone have anything? Yeah, we'll move right on to the resolutions. First resolution is a resolution authorizing county executive to sign renewal agreement with the NTS Data Services LLC. Board of Elections, I'll sponsor. Need a second?
Second.
Legislator Diamond. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? So carried. Next resolution is a resolution authorizing the county executive to sign an agreement with Soil and Water Conservation District. Need a sponsor? Second? Legislator Wilson. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstained? So carried. Next resolution is a resolution authorizing county executive to sign agreement, Office for Aging. Need a sponsor?
Sponsor.
Second?
I'll second.
Discussion? All's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? So carried. Next resolution is a resolution authorizing the county executive to sign agreement with Cornell Cooperative Extension. Now sponsor. Need a second?
I'll second.
Legislator Wilson. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? So carried. Next resolution is resolution confirming appointment term of representative to the Fulton Montgomery Superior County Workforce Development Board made by the county executive. I need a sponsor.
Sponsor.
Second?
I'll second.
Discussion?
Chairman Sweet, just the reason that this appointment is being made is because Dave Morrow from FMCC is retiring, or has retired, and that created the vacancy.
Any further discussion? Now, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstained? So carried. And the last resolution is a resolution setting the date and time of the 2020 organizational meeting. I'll sponsor. I need a second.
I'll second.
Any discussion? As you all see, it's January 7th at 6 p.m. There is no further discussion. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
Abstain.
Anything else under other? Not any motion to adjourn.
So moved.
And I'll second it.
Doing dash for X, right?
All right, I'd like to call the Budget Finance Committee meeting to order at 6:20. Remind that this is a committee of the whole, and tonight the whole is 2/3. So, any items for discussion anybody would like to talk about? All right, hearing none, let's move to the resolutions. Our first resolution is a resolution amending the 2019 operating budget for social services. Do I have a sponsor? Legislator Diamond, second, Legislator Wilson. Any discussion on this?
Is this good? This is funded through, is this the one that's funded through, grant? Is that the next
No,
one?
this is just taking money from one program.
So it's taking, training, is that something that we normally don't use?
No, we do. It's hard to plan for that. These are children that get placed in state's care through OCFS, usually very expensive placements. But we're able to, it's hard to predict. We're able to shift to the JD program. What happened here is mid-year, the state did a rate increase for this program for JDs. It went from $300 to $625 a day for placement. So, these are things you can't predict. Certainly can't predict a rate increase. So that's why we're shoring it up. And we're looking at the rest of this month also in this increase.
Building off legislator Sweet's question though, is that gonna leave the other one short?
No,
The state training
I
school?
don't think so.
How much was in the state, excuse me, how much was in the state training to begin with?
Yeah.
State training had 700,000.
We see the JD numbers have been declining, so we're hopeful that that will continue. Once again, there's no guarantee.
Thanks, Commissioner. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Thank you. Our next resolution is a resolution amending the 2020 budget and establishing a full-time receptionist for social services. Do I have a sponsor? Legislator Diamond, Legislator Wilson with a second. And discussion. Legislator Sweet.
So this is what I was thinking, but it's mostly, state and federal funded. Do you see this as a continual funding for this position in the future?
Yes, we've had this position, as well as cut in the 2020 budget, but we felt that it's very important. This is a public-facing position, where you have a lot of activity. This is the Amsterdam location, 50 to 70 people per day, and you really have to have somebody that handles that in the front end. So a lot going on, phones are ringing. You have you could have a flash point if you don't have the right person for people to. This is something we saw when we moved to Amsterdam in 2015. We knew that we were going to have much larger numbers than we've ever had here. So we were prepared for that by putting 2 receptionists there. What's happening now is that we're piecemealing it with others, and that becomes a problem because that means something else is not getting done. And they're not always totally trained to handle the business that's coming out.
But it's only gonna cost us $7,400. That's what it says local share, $7,370. Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Executive Officer for it.
and I think there's a bigger picture here and a bigger message. We went through the budget and there was some frustration and there was issues with the finances and well documented, we've been there. And I think the department, with the cuts in the budget, we kind of licked our wounds a little bit and understood that you guys, were sending a message that we needed to turn things around. And there's been a lot of good changes and we're heading in a good direction, which I'm very happy about. But in sitting there talking to the staff about the cuts that were made, it was overwhelmingly, we absolutely need this position. We cannot be putting social welfare examiners out of the window. We can't be putting caseworkers or whoever it may be in the office to cover the window. They absolutely need that person. So, and we had a meeting about it, talked about it, made sure there wasn't any additional, really any significant big costs associated with it. But this is gonna go a long way for them. And also as far as morale goes, knowing that, we were being responsive to something that is really truly a significant need down there. That's why I, wanted to speak out because I've been in those meetings. I've really engaged with the commissioner, with Jess, who's not here, who's been working her tail off. You've seen a lot of positives. The 40, stuff that we've been doing is coming along. They're up over $2 million on the year, which was nowhere near that in recent years. So there are some positives, and we understand that this is about rebuilding trust, and this is a big ask at this point. But it is critical, and there are some positives going on.
But I mean, it's an ask, but you're not asking to take it out of a fund balance, you're moving some other things around.
And that was the discussion we had, and we felt comfortable with the adjustments that were made here, and through Sean, and through Jess, everybody's on the same page.
I mean, generally looks like a bunch of transfers here to cover this, so.
Yeah, but we're talking about reestablishing a position that was cut, so we wanna be sensitive to
Okay.
that.
Yep,
And
no.
give you the background.
Thank you for your detailed explanation, both of you. Appreciate it. Yes.
Matt, I agree with 100% what you're saying, that, it's a position that needs to be. The only problem that I have personally is we get done with the budget, we get the budget all in place, and we haven't even started the new year, and we're adding positions. I mean, it just, it's a, why did we go through everything that we did to do that, it's just those little things that keep, you add a little here, add a little there, and eventually it's, but again, it's all being taken care of within the budget, so.
And the only thing I would say to that is, it was on the heels of a really big whack, and
Yeah.
there's $330,000 worth of positions cut, and there's gonna be some burden associated with that, but this was the one where it was, we really need this. So I get it.
I think budget season, when we start doing budgets, looking at budgets, needs to be a real serious look from everybody on what we're doing, so that we don't keep adding and doing other things down there.
And obviously we will see, and when the rubber meets the road as we go through the next 6 to 12 months, but I predict a much different budget process this year related to DSS.
All right, any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Thank you. Our next resolution is a resolution amending the 2020 operating budget, establishing an additional full-time assistant district attorney and eliminating part-time assistant district attorney for the district attorney's office. Do I have a sponsor?
Sponsor.
Legislator DeChessie, do I have a second? Legislator Sweet, discussion. Again, we see we have some shifting here, elimination of 2 assistant DA positions, part-time, and combining it into this full-time one. So it looks like it's, to quote a phrase that we saw early on in this legislature, budget neutral.
Are those 2 positions for next year zeroed, and then the assistant full-time position?
The one is zeroed out, the other is a reduction. So she's moving one part-time up to full-time person, and then, the other assistant is going to become back, hours going to become. And, the big reason for this is the jail reform. Like I said, I know statewide, I know counties are carrying out, because they don't, it's gonna be a huge, it's gonna be a huge cost to counties, but it's gonna be a wait and see here of how much it actually gonna cost us.
And she did present us a revenue creation plan to help offset this very topic, didn't she not? When she was here. So,
Traffic.
yeah, the traffic, trying to create revenue to help
Yeah,
meet the demands of this.
I would never talk to the county attorney about that, but yeah, she did.
Yeah.
So unless she comes up with a revenue stream, this will not be budgeted. Because.
No, at this point, it's shifting salaries from part-time to full-time.
Right, so there's still gonna be, so it's not neutral, because it's not just the 2 going to 1, there's a reduction in 1.
Well, so then, Sean, would you say then that the 1292 is the one she's cutting from full to part-time? And that's why it's only at 26,192?
No, those are both part-time.
No, they're both part-time.
They're both part-time.
I know, but she's gonna-
totally eliminating 404.
But
That's
she's-
part-time.
But she's cutting the 1292 to,
A quarter time, say, instead of, well, if you consider part-time, half-time,
so half of that salary,
yes.
so there's still 13,000.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I wouldn't be surprised if there are additional asks based on some of the things that she said. As we go through the course of the year, we don't know, may happen, may not.
Okay.
Let's go.
Anything else? Anybody want to discuss on this? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Thank you. All right, our next resolution is a resolution amending the 2020 operating budget, public defender. Do I have a sponsor? Legislator Wilson, second. Legislator Diamond. Discussion.
Same scenario.
This one looks a little more cut and dried, no?
I'm not personally familiar with this.
No.
looks like shifting, no?
It is shifting, like I said, these positions are fully funded through grants. I guess that my understanding is, as long as the grant is there, these positions will stay, but when the grant goes, the positions come.
We just gotta make sure of that, I guess.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Nicole hasn't seen this one, so we're gonna double check it with her over the course of the week and also have feedback beyond that. Just to
All right.
make sure. She said she has not seen it, which was not would make me feel comfortable.
Okay. It's just interesting if you look at the numbers, you know, I know they all add up, but I'm just wondering if there's a transposition error in there.
No.
No,
No?
no,
Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
Sean
All
and
right.
I worked on this one together.
All right, any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Thank you. Our next resolution is a resolution amending the 2020 operating budget and carrying over grant funds.
Sponsor.
Legislator Diamond with a sponsorship. Do I have a second? Legislator Sweet. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Thank you. Our next resolution is a resolution authorizing the county executive to sign agreement under InfoQuick Solutions Incorporated contract for records management system for the county clerk's office. Do I have a sponsor?
Sponsor.
Legislator Wilson. Do I have a second? Legislator Sweet. Discussion.
Same cost.
Same cost.
Yep. Looks like pretty much a wash. All right, any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions, thank you. Our next resolution is a resolution approving abstract of audited claims. Do I have a sponsor?
Sponsor.
Legislator Diamond, second. Legislator Wilson. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions. And our last resolution is a resolution amending the 2020 operating budget and authorizing the county executive to sign contracts insurance coverage. Do I have a sponsor?
Sponsor.
Legislator Wilson, do I have a second? Legislator Diamond. I'll start the discussion.
Yeah, there's lots of discussion.
Yeah.
But there's options, and that, before we get into it, that's just what I want to emphasize here. You're gonna have a number of options here to choose from, and it's really up to you as it relates to our cyber security, and that's, but I don't want to bring up Jeff, sorry.
No, it's okay. It's just looking like, you know, we're going into our contingency fund to the tune of 25 grand. I know it's there, that's what it's there for, but we talk about trying not to do that, and exhaust the darn thing within the first few months of the fiscal year, and we're already tapping into it in the last month of the previous fiscal year. So, just want to get a better understanding there.
That would be effective January 1st.
Yes, but I mean, you know, we're talking about it still in the old fiscal year.
Yeah, so we do not have a cybersecurity policy at the moment. Jack's been talking to us about this for a number of years. Really, finally, has gotten Megan and I to the point where we felt we at least had to put it in front of you and let's make a decision on this. As you see in the resolution, there's options for cyber coverage ranging from $11,866 to $28,412, which provide you various levels of coverage. Megan's recommendation, and I'm just going back to some text messages that we had, was the $28,000 gives you $5 million of coverage. The $20,000 gives you $3 million of coverage. And as she referred to as the not so good package for $8,500 will give you $1 million of coverage. So if it really comes down to an issue of do we want cybersecurity protection? One of the things that, you know, for all of our ups and downs with IT, one thing they do really well is protect the network. But they are being barraged constantly, and we've seen things happen in other areas. So he's recommending that we go do this. We may never have anything happen, we may, but there's, you know, it's something to think about. I don't think we necessarily have to make a decision tonight. Megan can speak with it much more at length. My daughter was sick the day of this meeting, so I couldn't attend, and it was just Megan and Jack. So if we want to discuss it maybe a little bit further next week, we can send out some emails was, we budgeted 450. But we've never had this insurance on the cybersecurity portion. So we can say, no, we don't want it, we haven't had it. And we don't have to do this, and we can just, you know, get the standard package with the modest increase, but it's really up to you guys,
Well-
and it's a group decision, really.
You know, I come from an industry where cybersecurity is paramount. And, I've seen places like our county, be held hostage with malware, school districts, things of that nature, hospitals. We're right in that hot zone, you know, and, I would also say that, you know, Dan does a tremendous job with what he has to work with, but I don't think we have a state-of-the-art computer system, connecting all of our sites here. It seems sometimes, like Scotty in Star Trek, he's gotta, you know, slap it together with chewing gum and baling wire, you know. So, I mean, I think the time may be now to consider cyber insurance. I guess the question is, you know, you got 4 plants here. The Cadillac looks like it's 28,000. The Buick's 25. The Pontiac's something else, and the Chevy, you know, is 8,500. No offense to Chevy owners, but you know, I mean, if you're looking at GM, you know, the Oldsmobile is 11, and you know, so.
And I believe Jack's recommendation was the $20,000 package. It was the one that was sort of the one in the middle ground, and I believe that's what we made this resolution for, Sean, if I'm not correct. I believe the extra 20,000, and I think.
No, it's he's recommending the 25 grand.
Oh, it is 20.
No, 20.
Because I think the policy.
The policy came in $4,500.
Oh, you're grabbing the difference.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's where you're seeing the 25,000. So we can leave it as it is, provide some additional backup over the course of the week. Megan's away, but she will be back. Cheryl, do you know when she's gonna be back?
I think next week, Monday.
Monday, okay, so we can schedule some talks Monday if you want, or just be happy.
Well, let me talk to my fellow legislators. What do we think?
Is the 25 above and beyond the not to exceed, or is that in that 454?
That's above the 4. The 20,000 would be above the 454.
So it's 454 for our general liability.
Correct.
Cool.
The multiple policies.
And then the cybersecurity or cyber liability insurance would be the 20 on top of.
That's an additional policy on top of it.
What do you think, Brian?
I mean, I agree with you. I've seen municipalities be held ransom. They lock the place up and either you pay or you don't get your stuff back. And that invites people to, you know, geez, those guys have insurance. Let's go hack it up.
You know, I mean, the whole concept of using contingency and using it this early is bothersome to all of us, I'm sure, but this is maybe a real need. I mean, I just look at it that way, and I'm surprised to hear that we don't have it, you know, through this resolution, some form of it. So
Could someone come in and explain to us exactly what it's gonna cover? I mean, just say you got cybersecurity or cyber liability insurance, what does that mean? Does
And I
it mean
guess-
it only covers
Yeah.
your
That's why-
laptop, or does it cover DMV and county clerk and?
Yeah, and I guess what I'm saying, with regard to your comment, I don't think it's an all or nothing. I do think we have some coverage within our $450,000 we spent, but it might not be specific to this and some of that detail. And that's why I was kind of leaning towards, you know, without Megan being able to be here tonight, you know, I think a further discussion next week would be necessary. Jack's recommendation was that $20,000 middle of the road. That's why I put it in there. And then I thought I'd just see where the conversation went, and it seems that that's more information is where we wanna go, so let's plan for that. I'm gonna invite Jack to come Tuesday night. If he can't come, I'm sure he'll send a rep, and, you know, Megan had some very interesting thoughts, and I think we bring in Dan as well, Dan and Greg maybe, 'cause Greg really is.
Yeah, it'd just be nice to know what you're
yeah,
getting
for your money.
buck.
Yeah, and what you're risking by not doing it, because we have not had it for a while, and we've been fine, and, you know, if the feeling is we don't want to tap the contingency right now, we really don't have to. You know, we could have just put this up without it, and it really wouldn't have been a thing, but I thought it was a worthy discussion.
So what should we do here? Should we table this and discussion?
If you table, it, you can't break it up.
Can't table.
Yeah.
So I would say move it and then
All right.
you make a decision at the full.
All right,
Great.
all right, all in favor of moving forward on,
Or do
based
we-
on the outline?
Or do we need more discussion where we pretty much bring this back to committee and have all these people talk about this?
Well, you gotta get the policy in place for the first of the year, so we at least have to pass our normal package,
Which is
and
the-
get that done.
The 4 extra, right?
Correct.
Yeah, or 46, yeah.
Yeah, and that, quite frankly, if it's, I'm sure we could probably move some money around and figure out something, that's not gonna be the end of the world, I can go ahead and sign the contract and all that stuff.
All right,
So it's just that additional, we're gonna have to lock that.
All right.
I'm just thinking, we have all these people here discussing this, what it covers and what it doesn't cover and all that, it's just gonna be a lengthy discussion.
yeah, for,
Is it something that we can add on after, or does it have to be at the time of the renewal?
I'm pretty sure we're gonna have to get this done by the beginning of the year, but again, I'll check and we can send out an email, it's not a problem.
Matt, I think he's asking, can we add on the cybersecurity section?
Later?
Later.
yeah,
I don't know the answer to that question.
I'm just saying that we could move this resolution without the cybersecurity portion of it, and then if we can add that on afterwards, at least we have the resolution going through for the general.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, have them come actually in January or something, If
Yeah, if you get done
if you can have, and I think you can. I think
Yeah,
you can.
you can do it either way.
You
You
kidding
can move
me?
it now without it and then add it, or you could move it with it and take it out.
This is an insurance company. You think they're gonna turn a check away?
No, you
Come on.
can't add any more insurance to your policy.
I mean,
Fair enough.
they're the prototypical, stereotypical sales people, next to Fuller Brush, they're gonna add something to it. All right, so all in favor of moving forward with it, based on the 46/20/91 increase? And are you looking to shift, come back to us with a resolution, that, would have that money not come out of contingency and come from a shift elsewhere?
I'm assuming given it's 5,000, we can probably find it somewhere.
Okay,
If not, that would be the course of action, but Sean seems to think that we could probably do that, I just don't know.
sure.
So the third whereas, and the second resolve, would we take that out before next Tuesday?
Yes,
We're gonna remove the,
yes,
okay,
yes,
Well, the transfer,
and then the transfer.
and the transfer.
you don't have to have the.
Well, yeah, we're gonna need it, the transfer.
What,
You only need the 46.
right,
Yeah.
and he can do that he doesn't have to do that as a resolution if he
I
finds
can possibly
money.
do that as a transfer.
He can do
And
that.
not-
Without even bringing it to us?
Yes.
Because it's under
5,000.
$5,000?
Correct.
Okay, good.
No, you can't,
No?
no.
Because it's insurance.
We look at different account, so,
All right, we're
Okay,
done.
so we'll leave that last in and we'll come up with a
sorry.
place to transfer it
Yes,
from.
yes.
46.
46/20/91. All right, everybody in favor of that?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? I think we did the right thing. We
Can
got
I
it.
ask a question?
Yes.
I'll talk with Sean, but what if it needs to come out of contingent? Do you
I'm-
want to recommend that to have it come out of?
Yeah, I mean, what I'm gathering is that they're gonna find a place other than contingent to take it from at this point. So they'll designate another.
And like Sean said, even if we had to set it 450, I don't think they're gonna cancel our policy over 4.
No, but I mean, we wanna do it the right way. So Sean, you think you can come up with a GL account, you can grab that 46/90/21 or whatever? Okay,
Just got it.
work your magic. Okay.
Just was gonna.
Okay. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions?
You probably get it out of our account.
Yeah. All right, and before we call the meeting adjourned, we have to take a quick look at our dashboard. If you don't mind, you got them here. We're towards the end of the year. I'll be quick, we'll be brief. Here we are in November, we're 92% of the way through our fiscal year. And so any revenue line item less than 87%, any expense line item greater than 97% gained red status. The first one on the general fund page is property tax items according to the treasurer. One more large pilot payment of about $200,000 is coming in from Beech Nut in December, and that will put us in the green. So we should be good there. Sales tax, we're on a 60-day lag, so the figure that we see year to date here, 24,561,244, is actually through September and not through November. So if you divide that by 9 and multiply it times 12, it puts us at about 32,750,000 in potential sales tax revenue for 2019. Our budget line item 28.8. Even if it's 32.5, I mean, that would be wonderful. And as a reminder, we budgeted 31 million for 2020, and I just keep reminding that since we passed our budget in October, and we increased that to 31 so that we would use less fund balance, just to give you an idea that it doesn't appear that's going to be in jeopardy at all of achieving next year that 31 million in sales tax that we budgeted for 2020. State aid, DSS, 60-day lag. You can see October claims have been submitted. November don't have to be submitted until December 20th. And that I will skip also the federal aid DSS, the same explanation there. And as you heard from Bonadillo last week or last month, they will be working on taking care of the reconcilements with staff and working on that so that we have bona fide numbers to put into our aud by April, okay? And rather than having a large receivable at the end of the year. State aid other, this is a category we talk about a lot here. Big, you know, your explanatory sheet here. Big contributors to this: public defender, mental health, mass transportation, economic development. Mental health, Sean indicates we got another $1.2 million going to be posted to this in December. You know, but a lot of this is grant oriented, you know, so you know, what we're recognizing here is, you know, what we've submitted for grants, and, you know, and we're not incurring expenses on the other side of the ledger if we're not generating the revenue. So nothing to be really alarmed there. And federal aid other, small line item, adopted budget 51.5, no claims for 2019 there. On the expense side, on the general fund, education is running a little bit high at 102%. That's all cooked in the books for the year. That's because we paid FM all their money, but the one contributing factor to us going over 100% is the chargebacks. Just to remind all of you, whenever a Montgomery County citizen goes to community college other than full Montgomery County, those other counties owe us money for our citizen going to another community college, whether they go to Schenectady, whether they go to Hudson Valley, you know, that type of thing. So it's, you know, as Sean describes, there's no way for us to be able to estimate how many people are from Montgomery County are going to be attending community colleges in other municipalities. So, I mean, the fact that we're, you can see 102 over, it's 39,000 over, and it's because of the chargebacks and you know, that we had to pay to other counties, but, you know, all they can do is roughly estimate it when they go into the budget based on perhaps volume from the previous year of students that chargebacks pertain to.
We also get revenue from other counties.
Correct. Yes, we do.
And where does that fall into?
That would fall in there too.
The capital chargeback goes under our percent.
And I'm familiar from that from my 15 years involved with college. So some, you know, there was a time when I was on the FM board where like Saratoga County refused to pay it. We had to pay it, you know, so it was, you know, like people from Galway who were going to FM, they weren't paying for them. And so sometimes you got to get tough with them. Home and community services, that's running a little high there at 103. Keeping in mind that this is offset by departmental income, which, as you can see up above, is running about 223 over budget. And it's due to an increase in our tipping fees, that's running over budget at 223 as of July 1st. And Sean showed me a printout when we reviewed this that showed that remember, we were about 150 in the hole as of June, and that's why we raised the tipping fees to $82 a ton. And in doing so, we've recovered quite well through October. We're only 7,000 in the red, having made up a lot of that $150,000 difference. We're averaging about $30,000 extra dollars a month than what we had budgeted with the increased tipping fees. So let's just say, we got another $60,000 of income to realize from the increased tipping fees for November and December. That'll be more than enough to offset this $7,000 deficit through October and put us in the black to the tune of about $50,000 on the whole garbage fiasco. So good development there. That's it. Transfers out. I mean, that's on an as-needed basis. Goes out to the county road fund. On the county road fund, CHIPS, you know the deal there. We're going to get our claims as Eric submits them, and I'm sure there's a ton of them in motion right now. Correct, Sean? Are there a ton of them in motion now?
Correct.
Yeah, we should see this by the end of the year. So nothing alarming there. And that's really it. There's nothing on the health insurance side. We're looking good, and that transfers in is also a function on road machinery on an as needed basis. So with that, if there's no other questions, I'll take a motion to adjourn the legislative suite. Legislator Wilson.